Good morning. How did you get on yesterday? And do you take action on my fun Dutch Eerste Divisie, both teams to score and over 2.5 goal accumulators? Every Friday I mention it. Does any of you take action? We'll find out later on. For those of you who did take action, you'll have had a big smile on your face today. We'll get to that. Leicester and Forest, well, my two main calls yesterday, from a value perspective, 2.45 Nottingham Forest and Torino, 2.63 Torino. Imagine that as a double. Overs surprised me, but it is a local derby, and that perhaps tells you everything, as does the scoreline, which suggests that Leicester are in trouble. This is not a Nottingham Forest side renowned for their goals. So if they're scoring 3 against you, you're in a spot of bother. Chris Wood again on hand to get the winner and to double that up. If he gets injured, woe betide Nottingham Forest, because Awoniyi, again, only getting 9 minutes at the end. So he's going to have to manage that, but he's doing a good job. Rennes always going to win, I would suspect, against Le Havre. Le Havre are beginning to be one of those sides that you can take on. Newly promoted a couple of seasons ago, struggling this. Mainz and Mönchengladbach, no ideas here. Red card change the game? Well, let's have a look. Indeed it did. 30th minute red card and a 38th minute goal from Udinese to take advantage. And Torino, it's a simple win. Not your 3-2s, as these two have been having normally, but 75th minute winner. Obvious, these two wanting to get rid of the need to score 3 goals because you keep conceding 2, as you can see here. 3 consecutive matches suddenly put the brakes on that defence against the newly promoted side. So it was there, and it was at the very decent odds. We'll work our way down. Spain Espanyol, no strong opinion there. And we'll go to our old pals, the Eredivisie, the Eerste Divisie. I keep mentioning this every single Friday. Both teams to score and over 2.5 goal accumulator in this league. When it comes in, boy, does it come in. 1-2, 3-1, 4-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 1-3. How about that? Ka-ching? Not arse. I really do hope you take action when I make these mentions on this preview video. Excellent stuff. As ever, of course, the Premier League under-21s and the Professional Development League, I think, provided us, if I can find the leagues, with our usual roundup of goals. No, I think it was a Professional Development League, maybe. Yeah, usual hinting at overs. 2 goals there. Don't forget, we don't need over 2.5 goals for a successful 2.5 goal trade. A lot of under-21s here, Premier League 2. Well, that one didn't. But these 3, that would have been an overs play, dependent on the goals. So we're on the right tracks. But it's the Professional Development League with its 74% over 2.5 goals, which really leads the way. And I'll be doing another 2.5 goal link for you for the Saturday matches. Aston Villa and Bournemouth, you'd be looking at Aston Villa to continue their emphatic recent form, goal scoring wise, home and away, and against all comers. 1.9, interesting odds, a little high. We could see both teams score. Brentford and Ipswich, it's a match to potentially take on the newly promoted Ipswich. Brighton and Wolves, Brighton have been in excellent goal scoring form as well. Danny Welbeck rediscovered himself. Wolves just seem to be lacking up front. Ruing selling some of their better players, I think, when the times were brighter. This looks like the bank of the day. Of course, Man City, Southampton. We could see that translate to 3 or 4 goals for City today. Everton and Fulham. Watch out for the potential for Everton to score 2 goals yet again. I called it against Luton last time. Seems against sides like this, Everton have 2 goals in the locker. Now, maybe they might not keep a clean sheet, but still, that could see the kind of value we saw yesterday from Torino. Angers and Saint-Etienne. Saint-Etienne newly promoted, so watch out for them. They'll be on the hit list if the in-play stats are with Angers. Lens and Lille, tough one to call. I think both sides involved in Europe. About 67%, heading towards 70% over 2.5 goals for the German Bundesliga. You know where to head there. Leipzig have been in excellent form, really caught the eye. Dortmund limping over the line against St. Pauli latest. That was post-international pre-Champions League. Got an eminently winnable match against Augsburg today if they can turn up. Stuttgart in the Champions League have performed very well. You'd be expecting them to bring home the odds. Bayer Leverkusen against Werder Bremen. We should really see that goal before half-time. I'd like to wait 15 minutes, perhaps have a tickle. First half goals 2.5, probably get 8-1 or higher. Napoli under Antonio Conte are a different animal now. Expect them to bring the odds in and expect them to keep Lecce very, very quiet indeed. Atalanta looking good as well at home. So we've got some good Serie A readable football. Eredivisie, PSV 1.09. See if that translates into goals later on. The Yellow Submarine got the win last week, I think. Odds on away at Valladolid. And it's Valladolid, I think, and Vallecano. I think Valladolid are the strugglers, aren't they? They tend to be the whipping boys. In a tough La Liga coupon, 2.5 the favourite. Girona and Las Palmas, the Islanders, favoured today. Real Madrid, Barcelona, could be a goal fest. It could be a 1-0. I'm expecting the goal fest element. We used to have a very strong record in these head-to-heads, both teams scoring. So those are the main fixtures today. And don't forget, if I give something a mention on these videos, it's for a reason. Next Friday, both teams to score over 2.5 goals in the Dutch Eerste Divisie. Jupiler League will get, some short shrift unless there's some in-play stats action today. Very tough coupon there. Probably Croatia next. We'll go through the odds-ons. And there's a lot of Brazilian football as ever. So this is soccer24.com, a key website for your success. Hashtag Split and Raika odds on favourites there today. And I do like collecting 2.5 goals. How would I do that? My initial sweep will be odds on favourites for 2.5 goals. I've noticed consistently these odds on favourite matches tend to produce the goals. And they go into the My Games facility here. It's all about the timing of the goals as well, because a 1-0 can still be a successful 2.5 goal or 1.5 goal trade, dependent on when it's scored. But you can see the general rule here is for overs, isn't it? Especially in the Bundesliga as well. Look at that. That's heading towards 2 out of every 3 matches being overs. So how do I get my shortlist for today? Collect your odds on favourites. 1.9 and lower. Now, the lower down the odds you go, the more goals you're expecting. It's a simple rule. So anything 1.35 and lower, you've got the potential for goals before half time. So that's an added element there. 1.5 to 1.7 favourites at home I like as well. They tend to be very reliable, as do 1.35 and lowers at home. You're making more expectations because of home advantage. Now, this I think is the best way to get over 2.5 goals. It's in the odds. Put it this way, you're not going to get an odds on favourite match where the market expects a 0-0. So that's my initial sweep. All odds on favourite matches in all of the major leagues. So I would include the Austrian Bundesliga, Croatia, Belgium, etc. Build up your list and you can go to war with it later on. Now at Flash Score, I would do something different. It's the sister site to Soccer24. This is the site where I would actually put aside 1.35 favourites and lower for the day. So I'll have an individual list of 1.35 and lower. Why? Because 1.35 odds suggests 3 goals or more, as you will probably see with Manchester City later on. So you go through as previous, but this time we're picking out the real elite shorties, 1.35 and lower. And we're going to see, hopefully, a relationship between these shorties and at least 1 goal before half time. So that opens up another angle for you for the overs market. You could back over 2.5 goals after 15 minutes, for example, if it's 0-0 in these matches. But you should be expecting at least a goal before half time. There doesn't look to be that many of these shorties today, does there? So let me just take a sweep through and I'll finish off my shorty list and show you it. So I've just added a few more to the roster. They go into the favourites list here. But the problem with Flash Score compared to Soccer24, you don't have the odds next to it, but you should have a clear indicator of who the favourite is. Napoli, for example, Stuttgart, Man City. So what we're looking for here is these shorties, 1.35 and lower, to translate into 3 goals or more. And we expect at least a goal before half-time. So I tend to look for a 20-minute break at 0-0 in the first half. Then you'll see an increase in the odds in the overs markets. That might present you with value, particularly if these sides translate their short odds into goals. That's my short list, or my quick fix on how to find potential 2.5 goal matches. And they do tend to deliver, as you've seen. Again, all about the timing of the goal. If it's 0-0 at half time, back over 1.5 goals at evens or higher. Get out at the first goal. Bang. So even if it's a failed 2.5 goal match, it's still a profitable trade. Okay? That's the whole point. We're looking for a goal to be scored between the 45th and 70th minute if it's 0-0 at half time. It's not too much to ask for in a match where you're expecting an avalanche of goals. But here, for example, if you went 15-minute break, back over 2.5 goals, bang, you're out. Probably with about 15 quid profit, just for that. Missed penalty, of course, nothing more galling, isn't there? So I'll see you for a live stream today at 2:30 p.m. welcoming back the German Bundesliga. And we've got our usual mayhem at 3 o'clock, provided mostly by the English football. It's going to be an exciting day. It's great to have the football proper returning after the international break. Look forward to seeing you. We've been in good form midweek. So hopefully I can keep picking up those green screens for you. We can keep ticking over with a profit. And we can continue what we did last week, which was to speculate on the overs markets and think aloud in the live markets. That produced, or would have produced, a £330 profit last week on Aruka, 1.06 favourite, 0-0 after 20 minutes. Back. First half goals, 2.5 at 8. 320 quid profit. 0-3 at half time. That's what you expect for these shorties. So when you're looking at the likes of Manchester City, expecting 3 or more goals at least, and a goal before half time. Have a great day. See you. Members only. There'll be a free live stream next week for YouTube subscribers and viewers. But this is a members only one this week. So if you want to join, footballtradingprofits.com, 10-day free trial. Come along. We're in good form. Once you learn these techniques, you can dip in and out of the markets and make a profit mostly every trading session. Have a great day. Look forward to the welcoming back domestic league football.